Dumelang. As the program director has said, my name is Gibson Sakong, and Pagamile is a big friend of mine. He thought that it would be a good thing for me to say a few words. The reality is that today is a day of poets and poetry. So I will not take too much of their time. I'll just talk about three things and get back to sitting down. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to thank people. And the second thing is I'm going to explain why I'm thanking people. And the last one, I will make a humble request. Let me start by thanking people. Pax is the first one. As far as I can remember, this occasion in this yard today is the third one. The last one having taken place last month. And Pax and I have agreed that going forward, we will try to have an occasion in this yard every 1 month. We hope you will pray for us and we will be able to make progress. From Pax, I also want to say, obviously he wasn't working alone, he does not work alone, nobody works alone and achieve any type of success in the world. So, and I don't have the time, unfortunately, to mention every one of Pax's team by name. But Pax and his team, thank you very much for organizing this beautiful event and continue to lead us in this space. He knows who he works with, and I'm sure they also know themselves. The next level of people that I would like to thank, but I think before I go to the next level, I need to say one thing so that I do not forget. Thank you for the ladies who are part of the performers. I give special thanks to ladies. We are living in times of change, and one of the biggest issues that need to be changed in our times is we need to put ladies where they belong. And where they belong is where their God-given talents put them. It's a very complex situation to explain. That's why I'm trying to run away from catching myself in it by just saying, let's put them where their God-given talents put them. I needed to mention that because I could forget when I come to talking about performance. The first thing that I appreciated when I saw the lineup was, oh, we have 3 ladies. But even though my maths is not very good, I think we're having actually more than 3. It's getting better and not worse. There's something in the world called diversity. Without diversity, we will continue to fumble. Beyond, and I also thank in general all the performers, including, well, my colleagues in the male world. Thank you very much for your excellent delivery. I've said I will not take too long, but let me tell you what I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart. I won't break my promise of not being here for too long. I know the poets need to do poetry. The next level is everyone else who is here to support the good cause. Thank you very much for your humble support. We appreciate it. And I need to give special thanks to, apart from the ladies of course, I need to give special thanks to the people who are recording the occasion today. We hope they do justice to the good work that is taking place here. And they will not keep it on their cameras or machines. They will share it with everybody who needs to know about it. Because this is a duty call. I think I've covered everybody. Let me go to the reason why I'm thanking the people that I've thanked. If I left anybody out by mistake, I apologize. It is not an intention on my part. The reason why I thank you, good people, is this. There are three pillars in terms of the MoAc philosophy upon which the universe is supported. Those three pillars, and I will not say too many things, because if I say too many things, chances are that you might not hear me, you might forget the things I'm saying. I'm saying there are three pillars. Those pillars are, the first one is political debates. And currently in South Africa, there are hot political debates because you've just gone through an election. They play their role in society to support the world. Number two, we call it, I'm saying it is the MoAc philosophy, we call it business presentations. Business presentations have to take place every day because we all have to eat. We need production. The last one, which is what puts us here, and which is the reason why our society is so weak, we lack what we call at MoAc, we lack community conversations. This yard is open to African children when they can and they find it necessary and they find it acceptable to come and have community conversations. If we do not have community conversations, the African port with three legs is going to fall, because the leg of community conversations is broken. You will not be able to go into the political space and play any meaningful role if you have not properly graduated from your own community. You will not go into the business world and play any meaningful role if you have not properly graduated from your own community. I'm inviting everybody to have conversations, not only here, but on behalf of this place, MoAc City. MoAc stands for Mentors of Millions of African Children. We are saying, have conversations to prepare yourselves. I know we're waiting for jobs. I know we're waiting for education. But if we wait, I'm telling you, the plane is not coming. I've had an opportunity in this world to move around, to see whether or not the aeroplane that the African child is waiting for is coming or not. The answer to that question is, it is not coming. Whatever is going to work for us, we need to do it ourselves. We need to do it ourselves. And for me, that is part of the reason why I allowed you to come into this yard. Have your own conversations. Decide. Support each other. Whether you go into politics, whether you go into business, get supported by your own community first. Participate in the activities of your community. Get built. I'm proud to tell you that I am who I am because of my rural village, very far away in rural Limpopo. I graduated from the humble institutions of my rural village to be able to make some progress, some humble progress in life. So my request is, you're welcome here. I cannot talk poetry, but I love what I'm seeing, I love what I'm hearing. Those are the words that I really wanted to say. And I said, element number 3, I was going to make a humble request. I've basically already made it. Please graduate properly from the humble institutions of your own communities. Where institutions don't exist, build them. Okay. Build them. Because one of the biggest problems we're having today is African children, young, almost adult, growing in vacuums without institutions. Let's build the institutions of our communities and graduate properly from them. When I left my rural village many years ago, wanting to go into the world of employment, one of my concerns was too many African children were going into employment and returning to rural villages and other places, including townships, without anything. I wanted to find out why are African children failing so much in the employment space. One of the reasons is fix the communities, because you can talk from slavery, you can go to apartheid, you can go to all the evils of mankind, have had the African community the most. So before you fix the African community, you will fix nothing. And the only people who can fix the African community are the African children, starting in their own space. I like it when we talk as individuals. We say, yeah, I would like to be the greatest. I'm saying, yes, it's good, because you can't build a great institution without a certain quality of individuals. But it is important that we start to see beyond the individual and say the individual on their own, they're not going to achieve anything. We need to build both individuals and institutions to support. You cannot beat a system with an individual. It takes a system to fight a system. Let's work together. Before I go off stage, I want to emphasize my request. Graduate properly. Graduate properly from the humble institutions of your communities. Where they don't exist, where they don't exist, build them. Because I say, nothing is going to help the African child except the African child themselves. Let me conclude by saying the following. Everybody, when they tell their story, they say, yeah, the African child is owed. And let's not go into the story of who owes the African child. The African child is owed. That case has been proven 1,000 times. The African child is owed. What has not been proven is that the African child will be paid during their lifetime. There's a difference between being owed and being paid. There are many people who owe us in this world. Can they pay us? And let's not go into the complex reasons why they cannot pay us. The reality is we are owed. That can be proven, and it has been proven 1,000 times before today. The question is, are we going to be paid? Gibson's answer, Gibson and MoAc, their collective answer is, no, we're not going to be paid. So what are we dealing with? I know I've said the last, but let me say the very last. When you get African child, let me tell you what happens a bit. They get provoked, and then they respond with confrontation, and then they lose the battle. There are two things. Sometimes you respond with, we call it unsustainable confrontation. You are fighting a lion with an okapi. You are provoked to go and do that, and it never works. If you don't go there, sometimes you are intimidated into what we call dishonorable capitulation. You accept to cooperate because if I work with them, they will give me some money. Those are the two main ways that African children respond in. And I'm saying the last before I go and sit down. MoAc's recommendation is the way you respond. We call it strategic surrender. We call it strategic surrender. Pretend you're dead if it is necessary. Pretend you're dead if it is necessary. But keep your strategy working until the finishing line. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening a bit to me. I'm done.